Peace, family. I hope all is well. Hope your holidays is going well. We are at the end of the year, and when I tell you this year went by so fast, again, when I tell you that this year went by so fast, I can't believe it. We are almost into January already. So hopefully, whatever your New Year's resolutions were this past year, hopefully you were able to accomplish them and they all came to pass. And hopefully, I hope that all of you who are watching this, that you have a strong start of the year 2024 and that you have an awesome and productive upcoming year. Let's get some more people in the chat room. I've decided that every Thursday I'm going to offer free sales training. Okay. And the reason why I was inspired. What inspired me was that my sales career has been the topic of conversation lately. So I said, you know what? Let me give back because I believe that everyone out there has a talent or something that they can something of value that they can contribute to the community. So I said something that I can contribute. A talent of mine is sales. So this is my way of giving back. The individuals who kept bringing up my sales career, I want to thank you because um, in bringing that up, that inspired me to come go live every Thursday. So every Thursday night, 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, unless something comes up, we'll be live and I'm here to answer all your questions. And guys, I want this to be interactive, okay? Again, I want this to be interactive. So when it comes to questions in regards to sales, the sales process, how to get a sales job, any questions regarding corporate America, please, please, please put your question in the chat room. I also put a link in the chat room so you guys can call in and join the conversation because I want this to be as interactive as possible. We'll wait to get some more people in the chat room and then we'll get started. We should be on here no more than 30 minutes. Well, I'm here for you. So if we're on here all night, then we are on here all night. I want to apologize for my tardiness. I took Massa, my son, out today. We went to Sky Zone, let him jump around. And then I thought he had basketball practice today, but he didn't. So we went to he plays basketball at the local YMCA here in Atlanta. So I took him to the Y. Practice was canceled. So I just let him run around and shoot the ball. So that is what we did today. So a little bit about me is sometimes once in a while I have to reintroduce myself to all 114,000 of you. I was born Albert Horton Hollis II. This is going to tie into my sales career. All right, this is going to tie into my sales career. Give me a second. I was born Albert Horton Hollis II in Sacramento, California, April 15th, 1982. I am a tax day baby. Grew up in Sacramento, played football, ran track, in which I earned a scholarship to the University of Georgia. At the University of Georgia, I ended up blowing my knee out, so my football career sputtered, but I ran track while I was there. So when I was getting ready to graduate, I had to have once you're approaching graduation and you realize that your athletic career is over, you have to have a heart-to-heart with yourself because many, especially Black athletes, scholastic and high school athletes, we all think we're going to make it to the NFL. We all think that, we'll go to college and then we'll get drafted. We're going to buy everybody, mama, auntie, uncle, daddy, brothers, sisters, we're going to get them all houses, get them all cars. But sometimes, because fate, sometimes it just doesn't work out that way. And fate, and because of circumstances, you go down a different path. So for me, you know, going into like my senior year in college, I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to get a job. So I kept hearing about sales. And a few of my teammates, what they would do, they would they would get hired by Enterprise. Enterprise is the rental car company. And from Enterprise, they would get recruited to do pharmaceutical sales. So pharmaceutical sales was like the sexy sales job. Everybody who wanted to get into sales, they wanted to get a sexy pharmaceutical sales job. And for the most part, you're going to doctor's offices, you're taking orders for pills or sometimes equipment, just depends on the company you're working for. You get a company car, you get a company credit card. So, I remember I went on a ride along with the ex teammate of mine, Adrian Hollingshed, and he was doing pharmaceutical. He was working for a company in pharmaceutical sales. And I went on a ride along with them, and he had a company car. I think they had at the time was the Dodge Magnum. The Dodge Magnum just came out. So he had a Dodge Magnum. Yeah, we were just pretty much going to doctor's offices. He was just taking orders for pills, dropping off Chick-fil-A sandwiches, and getting paid. I'm like, man, this is the life. This is something I got to do this. But out of college, at first, I was a personal trainer. I was a personal trainer for about a year, roughly a year, at a gym called the Omni in Athens, Georgia. It was like the first big major gym to open up in Athens at the time. This was 2005 or six. End of 2005, early 2006. So I worked there. So while I worked there, I wanted to get involved and have a career, establish a career in pharmaceutical sales. So there, my coach, one of my coaches, so I expressed that to my one of my coaches, and he knew a guy who worked at a pharmaceutical sales company. And so he connected me with him. He was a manager. So once every 2 weeks, he would have me drive from Athens, Georgia to Gwinnett to interview, just to tell me that I don't have any sales experience. He said I interviewed great. He loved me. He loved my personality. But the problem was I didn't have any sales experience. I'm thinking, looking back, I'm like, why did he have me come and drive? Guys, I was just fresh out of college. I was broke. I had a beat up white Ford Mustang that my frat brother gave me. And so, I had to put, gas the car up and drive from Athens, Georgia to Gwinnett, like once every 2 weeks, just for him to tell me, you don't have any sales experience. Sorry, we can't hire you. So summer of 2006, I decided I was going to move from Athens to Atlanta. He said, I hate that. They did that to me in the medical field before. Yeah, I mean, I would drive every 2 weeks, I would drive like 40 miles, 50 miles just to be told, sorry, we can't hire you. You don't have any sales experience. And every time I saw him, he told me that. So it came to the point like, why are you scheduling me Or yeah, why are you having me meet you in a hotel lobby and interview just to tell me that I don't have any sales experience and you can't hire me? But hey, it is what it is. And what I learned from that once I got on in corporate America, number one, it's all about who you know. Well, not necessarily all about who you know. It's when you're going through the interview process, like find out who makes the final decision. And as you're going through the interview process, push to get in front of that person. So your initial interview, your job is to go is to meet with the next individual that has a say in your hiring to make it to the next level. And you do not leave that initial interview without the next interview scheduled. Again, you do not leave that initial interview without scheduling the next interview. You push to have it scheduled right then and there. Again, you push for that next interview. Get it before you leave. You get that next interview. You keep the process going. Do not leave, especially as a sales professional. All right. Your initial interview, I cannot stress this enough. Your initial interview as a sales professional, you need to have the second interview scheduled before you leave that interview. Okay. So I didn't get that job. So I moved to Atlanta and I'm looking for work. So I stumbled on an ad, I think it was on Career Builder, for an insurance opportunity with a company called Aflac. I'm like, okay, Aflac. Yeah, that's the duck. I'm very familiar with Aflac. That's the duck. I see the commercials. So I respond, or yeah, I send my resume in and I get a phone call from the district manager and who will be my immediate sales manager. So I'm living in Smyrna at the time. My frat brother, he had a duplex. So he's renting me the duplex for dirt cheap. Shout out to him. That's how we look out for each other. And so I remember, so they scheduled me to come interview. We meet at the Viney's Club here in Atlanta. And so I'm in there, man. I'm stuffing my face. You know, we meet for lunch. And so they're like, yeah, they offer me the job. I said, okay, yeah, absolutely. I'm ready to roll. So I remember asking, what was my base salary? And they said, there's no base salary. It's 100% commission. Then I asked, well, do I have any, do I get any benefits? They were like, no, it's 100% commission. So you have to eat what you kill. So my first true sales job, my first sales job was 100% commission sales job. So I was getting up every day, beating on doors, knocking on doors for Aflac. And I had my struggles at first. But then I eventually turned it around. And for Aflac, I ended up becoming the number one life insurance salesman in the state of Georgia for Aflac. I think this was 2007. Yeah, this was 2007. And I hit Triple Crown, which is like the top 5% or top 10% of sales reps in the company. And, you know, they fly into Cancun and all paid resort. You eat good and they give you an award and all that good stuff. And it's something you can put on your resume. So At the time, I was an it would be aspiring actor and model, right? So in 2008, I left Atlanta to move to Los Angeles. So in LA, so I saved my money up, my Aflac money. I was also selling Medicare insurance to seniors. So I saved my money up, moved to LA. Was trying to do the acting and modeling thing, and it didn't work out. I couldn't deal with the attitudes and uh, the personalities in LA. I couldn't do it. I couldn't stand it. So I ended up going back to corporate America. This time with a company called Cintas. I wanted now at the time I preferred, one of the sexy um, pharmaceutical sales or medical device sales, doing sales for one of those companies like Stryker, Boston Scientific. But I ended up getting on with the company called Cintas. It was interesting how I got that job was on my final interview, and I got the idea from a friend of mine, Don Trell. So, the day of the interview, Don Trell, he was in town from Atlanta. And, when they would come to LA, everybody would come stay with me at my studio apartment. And, it's the day of the interview. I'm getting ready. And he was like, so I had an old pair of Steve Madden shoes. And they had holes in the bottom of them. And he said, Dynas, you should take those shoes to your interview. Show the manager who you got. It was like the sales district manager who I was meeting with, our sales regional manager, and show them the bottom of the shoes and say, hey, this is proof in regards to how committed I am and the amount of cold calling I do because the soles of my shoes are worn out. So I did that and I got the offer. So with Cintas, I was getting a base salary, and you get commission. They give you a company credit card and like a car package. So they lease your car from you. So they'll pay for your car and pay for your gas. So I was with Cintas from 2011 through 2018. And starting off, it was rough, but once I got my groove, I ended up being the number one sales rep in the company. So these are two Fortune 500 companies where I was the top sales rep, in these respective companies. And I got the trophies to prove it. Do I have any trophies here? They're upstairs, but I have the trophies to prove it. So I'm not just running my mouth. And here comes the, because when people criticize or stereotype salespeople as, oh, you use car salesmen. Here's the flip side to everybody who's watching this. My sales career is what bankrolled In Search of Uhuru. Again, my sales career is what bankrolled In Search of Uhuru. My sales career afforded me the opportunity, because it's not cheap. It afforded me the opportunity to travel to Africa. In 2011, when I was making sales, making big commissions, I had expendable income, and I reach out to Fitzgerald. You guys know Fitzgerald Stevens. And we were talking, and I was telling him how well I was doing in corporate America at my sales job. And I met Fitzgerald in Atlanta. This is back in 2007. Fitzgerald had a tire shop. If you're familiar, auto repair shop and a tire shop. Well, auto repair. Right across the street from Compound off of Howell Mill. So Fitzgerald had an auto repair shop right there by across the street from Compound. And I was out cold calling with Aflac, and I stumbled into a shop. Now, we never did business together, meaning he never bought anything from me, but we became the closest of friends till this day. And that was 2007. And the amount of people I've met out, because I'm on the street. So when I'm out with my sales jobs, we had to go out and cold call and knock on doors. So, I'll pull up to a shopping complex, I pull up to an office building, um, and hop out that car, have my suit on, have my briefcase with all of my material, my sales material, and I will go knock on doors, office complexes, shopping complexes, office towers. Uh, I mean, everything. We had a saying. It was called "Every door, every floor," or "Every floor, every door." So I would hit up everything. I would try to cover everything and anything. Restaurants. So when I was in LA with Cintas, my territory was Hollywood and Beverly Hills. So it was primarily restaurants. So I hit up the restaurants, and just the amount of people I met, um, the relationships I formed, had an impact on my life. So where did I leave off? Yeah, so in 2011, I'm doing great. I'm making good money. I'm a single black man in LA, doing well, had a fly ass loft, and which I regret. I should just stayed in my studio apartment in Koreatown and save some money. But hey, but to I'm making good money. So I hit up Fitzgerald Stevens, and Fitzgerald was like, Dinus, you take a vacation. I said, okay, I'm taking a vacation. So the only place I really knew to take a vacation to was Brazil. So I was about to go to Brazil. There was a young lady who went to school with me at the University of Georgia. She's Brazilian. So he's like, listen, Dinus, you come with me. We'll have a great time, have an awesome time. So I was like, okay, cool, perfect. So she ended up backing out. So when she backed out, I was like, okay, where am I gonna go? So I reached out to somebody else. His name was Yishak Abraham. I was like, listen, man, I got a vacation plan. I got these dates set aside. Where should I go? He said, go to Africa. I said, where? He said, go to Tanzania. So I started researching Tanzania. And off the coast of Tanzania is an island called Zanzibar. And people who lived in LA back in, 2011 through 2014 or whatever, there was a club in Santa Monica called Zanzibar. And Zanzibar was like the only spot in LA that played Afro beats. You had Zanzibar, and then there was I don't want to call it collective, but there was a DJ called Jeremy Soleil, and he would have an event like once a month called the Lift. And this event they'll announce like the day of, so it was like really real exclusive, and they would play Afro beats there as well. So you know, so that was confirmation, the whole Zanzibar situation in regards to me going to Africa. So I went to Africa, had a great time, and that's what birthed it In Search of Uhuru. And my sales career, again, is the platform, or my sales career is what afforded me to be able to afford these trips and share the footage with you guys. My sales career is why my sales career is really the reason why this platform exists. So, sales are important. Corporations are always looking for talented salespeople. Sales is recession proof. If you are a talented sales rep, you will never be out of a job. Again, if you are a talented sales rep with a proven track record, you will never be out of a job. Shout out to America First Rifleman in the chat room. Again, I want to repeat because sometimes salespeople are negatively stereotyped. They get a bad rap. And don't get me wrong, there are some salespeople out there who are scum, but the majority of them are great people. And once again, if you have a proven sales record, you will never be out of a job. And that's what people don't tell you. And a lot of people are intimidated by sales. It's kind of like football, where you have a lot of people who are afraid to initiate contact. That's similar to sales because you have to initiate contact, meaning you have to get out the car, go knock on doors, and say, hey, my name is Dynas Amir. I'm with Cintas. Love to sit down and go over our facility services products that we offer, or with insurance, or whatever. And a lot of people can't do that. A lot of people have anxiety issues, or they're nervous and they just cannot initiate that contact. So if you're interested in sales, so this is where we'll start. This will be the first lesson. Okay. You guys take notes. I'm going to write some notes down too. So you have 100% commission jobs, sales jobs, like Aflac. See, Breezy Diallo, it's the worst job to have, honestly. No, it's not. Once you're in sales and you get a rhythm, like a real good rhythm, like you're not going to want to do anything else. And then, of course, you have your sales jobs with a base salary. Great thing about sales as well is usually there's no cap on income, meaning commissions. Like if you have a sales job and you have a flat and you have a salary, like just a base salary, no matter what you sell, you'll always get paid the same. And you can't earn commissions, or there's a cap on what you earn, or cap on your salary. That's not a real sales job. A real sales job, I want you guys to remember this. A real sales job, there is no cap on what you can earn. Most people know sometimes sales can be feast or famine. I love it. See, I love it. I love the feast and famine aspect of sales. I love it. So a real sales job has no cap on what you can earn. A real sales job. If you interview for a sales job and they tell you the most you can make is 65,000 to 70,000, and they won't pay any bonuses, or they won't pay you any commissions, that's not a sales job. Or a real sales job. A real sales job, there's no cap on what you can earn. Now, the 100% commission sales jobs, all you have to have is a high school education, and depending on what you're getting in, some type of accreditation or license. So, for example, insurance. Depending on the insurance products you're selling, you need health and life. Or you got to have an insurance license, depending on it. Same thing with real estate. And real quick, let me MLM, multi-level marketing. All right, I know it gets a bad rep. Right? Some people think MLM is a scam. The best MLM, all right, the best MLM is insurance. Again, the best MLM is insurance because the majority of insurance companies that you work for, you'll get override on the commissions that your reps bring in, and then you'll also get paid on the applications when they renew, or the policies that you write. Whenever that policy renews, you'll get paid on that. It's called residual income. So that's why a lot of people love MLM, because of the residual income. They call it mailbox money. So imagine you're an insurance agent and you recruit a team. You're able to leverage the sales that they bring in. So insurance is by far, people who are, oh, MLM, it's a scam, MLM. If you have life insurance, if you're watching this and if you have life insurance, if you have auto insurance, if you have insurance on your home, the rep that you bought that from, I mean, basically you're participating in the MLM for people who are anti-MLM. But insurance is something that the majority, like, you have to have, depending on the product and service. But an MLM, I mean, insurance is an MLM. I think the best MLM out there. So it's easier to get your foot in the door as far as sales goes with 100% commission job. But again, it's 100% commission. So you're responsible for your own insurance. It's 100% commission. So there's no base salary. So a lot of people can handle it. But again, there's no cap on income. Then you have your base salary, your base salary sales jobs, right? So with your base salary sales jobs, for the majority of them, you got to have a college degree. To get your foot in the door, you have to have a college degree for the most part, in order to start off to get a decent sales job with a base salary. You have to have a college degree. But there's ways around that, and I'll give you an example. So at my old job, Cintas, there were service positions that you could get hired for that you necessarily didn't have to have a college degree. And if you did good in these service positions, you can get promoted to a sales job if you had the personality and you did well. So depending on the corporation, there's ways around it. But the more experience you have, like any job, the more experience you have, the more money you can earn. So like with sales jobs, especially the base jobs with base salaries, you'll go from, like I said, some of my teammates, they were in the manager training MT program at like Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Then they'll get into pharmaceutical sales. Then they'll get into medical device sales, and then they'll get into like IT sales, and then they're rolling in the big bucks. So if you're on the fence about sales or interested, it's a great career. It's a great career choice. Trust me. Like, no matter what happens with me in regards to, and I'm not going nowhere. They're going to have to run me out of Africa. But I could always dust off my resume and go get a good sales job, because I have the experience and the track record. But guys, listen, link is in the chat room. Link is in the chat room. If you want to call in, ask me anything you want to. Ask me about sales jobs. You can ask me. Let's see here. I scored an expert level in sales on Indeed. Good for you, Chamaray. Anything about corporate America, you can ask me anything. Click on the link, hit me up, ask me anything. So I'll be taking callers for the next 10, 15 minutes. Shout out to Muhammad Lejay. So, guys, again, if you have any questions in regards to corporate America, sales, whatever, link is in the chat room. I'm yours. Click on that link and call in. We'll wait a couple more minutes and then we'll log out. And like I said, we'll come back every Thursday, except for when I'm traveling. So we'll roll again next Thursday. And then after that, I'm heading to Benin Republic. I'm taking a group to Benin, a small group to the Voodoo Festival of Benin. So I'll be there. I'll be in Africa from January 4th through like January 20th. So not sure if we'll do any shows then, as far as in regards to the sales profession. But in the meantime, if you guys have any questions, call in. If not, I'm at your disposal. So if not, we'll log out. Yeah, Voodoo Festival in Benin Republic. All right, 20 more seconds. Yeah, man, go ahead, bro.
Hey, what's up, bro? Yeah, I was wondering, for that sales position, right? Did you take any communication courses during your collegiate career as to help you communicate with people better?
No, I didn't. Not at all. Not at all. My major in college was agricultural business. And yeah, I don't remember any communication courses. It's just it comes from within. You just have to have the want, man. That's all. Because I know plenty of people who didn't have great communication skills, but they were able to sell a lot because they just had the passion and the want and the drive. It's really the drive. You just got to have the drive, man, and be
Okay.
hungry.
And when you're selling something to some people, like I noticed, like I have a part-time job where I work in sales as well, and I noticed like when I noticed certain people in my job that work in sales, they like really good at I don't know, you wouldn't expect it by just looking at them, but they're really good at creating this bond with people that they don't even hardly know. I don't know how they even do it. It just seems like people enjoy being in their company for some reason, and then they kind of like manipulate or push the that connection that they have with people into selling them stuff? Like, is there like some type of
When you say
psychological tool
manipulate,
you
what do you
use?
mean? When you say manipulate, what do you mean?
Maybe manipulation is the wrong word. Maybe I'm thinking more like influence people into having that likable personality. Is that just something that's just natural, or people
For
just
me,
tend
it's
to?
just natural. I mean, you have to be people buy from people who they like, who they can relate to. You know what's interesting, Mr. Sandman? My closest right as of right now, the people I'm closest with are the people who I've sold to. Case in point, Fitzgerald Stevens. Now, Fitzgerald ended up not buying a product from me, but me and Fitzgerald are boys. Some of the closest people that I'm closest to now, are people who came on tours with me.
Right. Okay. So it's like you genuinely enjoy being in those people company, and it's just natural. It's not like an act that you have to put on or anything like that, or you just genuinely like being in people's company.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta. That's part of it. You gotta love your job. So I love being around people.
Okay. Yeah. That's interesting because I was watching that one girl who was talking all nasty about you. I believe her name is Alexis or whatever. She was saying that you weren't that personable or anything like that. But I guess that couldn't be true with your salesmanship history.
Well, I mean, I have to be personable.
All right.
When you're in a service based industry, you have to be personable. Now, I can't. How can I put it? Now, I can't give you all of my time, obviously, but when you're in the service industry, you have to be personable.
Okay. Yeah, I was thinking about maybe venturing into sales and seeing if I could get my feet wet. I was recently reading this book about business, and they were saying that the most important assets that a person has into creating money for themselves is his ability to communicate with people. That's why I attempted to get this part-time job in sales, just so I could get more comfortable with talking to people that I'm not used to being around, and hopes that maybe I could parlay that ability into like maybe starting my own business and creating a clientele that way by my ability to be able to communicate and work with new customers and things of that nature. I actually used to be a barber as well too, and I noticed that the head barber of the shop that I cut hair in, that he wasn't the best. He was a very good barber, but what I noticed was 99% of the guys that came in there to get their haircut, or even girls, that came in there to get the haircut, they just wanted to hang out with him. And I always wondered how he, had so many connections with so many different people in the neighborhood.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
man, go for it.
All right.
All right. Any other questions?
No, that was all.
All right. Let's see here, guys. Links in the chat room. If you want to call in, link is in the chat room. If you want to call in, link is in the chat room. Marie Shy, well, Dinus, you did seem a little introverted on the Nigeria tour, in my opinion. Marie, you were tied up with your fiance. And then also, too, you have to understand there's 10 to sometimes 20 of you guys. Again, sometimes there's 10 to 20 of you guys. So I wish I could give everybody their own. In fact, you know what I'm gonna do on these trips moving forward? I'm gonna figure out a way to give people who come on the tours with me. I wonder how I can do it where it's structured properly, where everyone can have their individual breakout time. Again, where everybody can have their individual breakout time. I wonder how I can do it on these trips, because when there's 10 to 20 of you guys, like it's hard to be extroverted with everybody as far as personal. I'm trying to figure out how that will look like. So everybody will have a feeling of I got my time with Dynast on the tour. Because again, there's 10 to 20 of you guys. So this last Nigeria trip, it was only like 4 of us. So man, we spent a lot of time together. You know, we spent a lot because there's only like 4 of us. But when there's 10 to 20 of you guys, it's hard to give everybody their individual attention. I'm not trying to make excuses. So with that being said, I need to figure out a way, I guess, for people who are like, listen, Dynast, I'm coming on this tour. I want to pick your brain. What can we do? Can I get an hour, 2 hours? Just me and you, let's sit down and chop it up. I got to figure out how to do that. Brother Dynast, are they paying for one-on-one with you? Ibar, they're not, but what I'm noticing is when people come on the tour, there's certain individuals who want the one-on-one. And I'm trying to figure out how to do it where it's where they could get that. So they won't leave. Well, I went on this tour with Dynast and I didn't get like personal time with them. Brother Dynast, are they paying for one-on-one with you? Here we go. Eric Powell. For the Nigerian prince, you have to tell people they should come to Africa for Africa. If they want your time, they should schedule a consulting appointment. Keep up the good work. I appreciate it, Eric. No, but again, when people say, Dynast, I came on the tour, you're introverted, I'm like, well, there's 20 of you guys. So I'm trying to figure out a way, and I'm all about the feedback. So I need to figure out a way where people won't feel like that. Because there's 10 to 20 people, that's 10 to 20 different personalities. Then there's also let me tell you what goes on these trips sometimes. So behind the scenes, sometimes there's fires I have to put out, bribes I gotta pay. What else? I mean, there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes. So when people say, Dynast, you're introvert, I'm like, okay, and that's fine. I mean, like I don't take it personal, but at the same time, I want as many people when they come on my tours to feel fulfilled, and I don't want people to leave the tour saying, I didn't get enough Dynast time. He's an introvert. Because sometimes I'm all over the place because there's so many things, so many moving parts behind the scenes. If that makes sense. So yeah, and I'm trying not to make excuses, but again, when there's 10 to 20 of you guys, it's hard to give everybody individually their undivided attention. Like in Sierra Leone, we play cards together, we play dominoes together. We would hang out at the hotel, but it was more with the group. So hopefully that makes sense. Marie, does that make sense? Does that make sense, everybody? So, but I'll work on that. I would definitely work on that. Guys, links in the chat room. Link is in the chat room. Link is in the chat room. Because what I don't want to do, and I want to be very, guys, do not take this the wrong way. Do not take this the wrong way. You know, I want to be very careful in what I'm about to say. And, you know, this is this disclaimer. Please do not take this the wrong way. I am a tour operator. I'm not a babysitter. Again, I'm a tour operator. I'm not a babysitter. If that makes sense. Does that make sense? And I don't want to be rude, and I don't want this to come off the wrong way. Like, I'm not here to babysit. I know traveling to Africa for many is a new experience, but I can't babysit. Missy Barra.
How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm well. Yes. Happy new season to you. I hope everybody in the family are doing well. Can you hear me?
I'm doing loud and clear. Everyone's doing great.
Thank God. Listen, you really cannot do more than what you're doing. You're just one person. Um, Maybe you have to do some type of write up, like part of disclaimer that people needs to sign that you are not there to babysit everybody's emotions. You are not babysit. You are not their international boyfriend or girlfriend. So, and then you can't do more than what you're doing. The most important thing you can do, which I believe you're already doing, is to guarantee their safety. That's the most important. You're giving them good times. They get to be in a place where they've never been before. They go on that trip and they come back safely. Any other thing, I don't think you should put yourself in so much. You're going to be putting out so much emotion unless you have other people that join you, that you have other people that you have employed to give that extra experience. I don't think you should be doing more than what you're doing. For example, when they go on this trip, that they go like on this boating trip, they're not there to, they don't know those companies. They just put them all in the boat and whatever they get is what they get. So what you're doing is a great job. Keep doing it. You can never be 100% for people. You're gonna see somebody that's gonna complain about what you're doing, no matter how good you're doing to for them. So please don't exhaust yourself. Please remember you have a son. You still have a life to live. And many of the people that's going to come towards you, you don't know them from nowhere. You don't know what they're going through emotionally. So once they get attached to you like that, there's nothing you can do for them that's going to be enough. So please, thank you. Don't give up.
Oh no,
Keep,
no, I'm not. Listen, I'm not going anywhere. But I do have a team. So each country we go to, I do have guides. In fact, if you guys go to Donfo.Africa and click corporate.
So like, that's how that you can do. You can't babysit somebody's emotion. Please let that side go. Now, if they're paying extra for one-on-one, then let it be known. These are people that pay extra. If you see me with somebody, I'm having a business discussion, that's outside of. So if they're not paying that, they only pay for you to take them to wherever they need to be. That's all you can do. And you're doing a whole lot. Don't exhaust yourself, please. You're needed. Please. Don't remember you have a small child that still need you. So please don't. There is nothing you can do for adult that is too emotional, that they can't be by themselves, that they need somebody to breastfeed them. There's nothing you can do for that. Okay.
Understood.
Anyway, thank you so much. I know that me and you, one of these days, we're going to meet. You see that I'm coming to Atlanta, or I'll meet you in Nigeria. But one of these days, we're going to meet. So keep doing the good work.
I will. Thank you, Missy Barra.
All right. Stay blessed. By the way, Happy New Year in advance.
You too. And I'll be in Nigeria next month.
Oh, you see, I'm not going to Nigeria next month, but I'm telling you, one of these days you'll be there, because this 2024, I want to really spend time in Nigeria. That's my goal. So, because I have some things that I want to do over there. So it should be interesting. All right, stay blessed. And everyone on the platform, happy 2024 to every single one of us. All right. Bye, brother.
Bye-bye.
Stay blessed.
Yes, you too. All right. Links in the chat room, you guys. Link is in the chat room. If you want to call in and add to the conversation, please click on the link. We'll stay on for like another minute, take some more callers. Here we go. You can make an appearance at a dinner or a breakfast, etc., for a brief conversation. Charge a customer a consultant fee if they want more personal information, but not with you. That's what Eric was saying. That's what Eric was saying. But guys, links in the chat room, please call in. Guys, call in any question that you might have about anything. I want to keep it on sales and corporate, but any question you might have, please call in and add to the conversation. Again, any question you have, please call in and add to the conversation. All right, guys, we'll start closing out. Listen, links in the chat room. We'll wait another minute, and then we'll close out. Your job is to manage your organization and your employees. Now you need an information officer to delegate those responsibilities to. Hey, Wayne, you're right. You're right. You're absolutely right. Have you seen the latest BS on Twitter? I have not. There's a ton of BS every day on Twitter, so I don't know what BS you're referring to. Do only the things you're good at and outsource the rest. All right, guys, with that being said, we'll go ahead and close out. Everyone, thank you so much for joining. Like I said, we'll do this every Thursday. Every Thursday, we'll do this. Thank you so much for joining. Like, share, subscribe. Until next time, family, Dynasty Mirror Search for Huru. Peace.